That's not a maybe. That's not, oh, maybe a couple of the 2/3 will make it. No, all the 2/3 are gonna perish in that time. But there's gonna be a certain amount of heathens that are gonna make it and be preserved for slavery. Okay, they're not gonna be preserved to be eye to eye with us in the kingdom, man. There ain't gonna be no eye to eye in the kingdom, man. There's gonna be us on top of the rest of the nations. That's it. Okay. And the ones of the Israelites that don't want that say, "Oh no, I don't want that. I don't want servants. I don't want slaves." Well, then guess what? You're part of the 2/3, man. Okay? Because we're gonna have that, man. All right. Let's get Isaiah the 14th chapter. This is Isaiah 14. This is Isaiah 14 and verse 1. It says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors." That's plain and simple. Okay? So all you have to do is find the ones that had the Israelites in slavery. And then we're going to take them and put them in slavery, man. All right? That's the bottom line. The main ones is who? Is Esau, Edom, but really all the nations. Okay? Because the only time the Israelites were really ruling and sovereign was under what? The 40 years of King Solomon. All right? That was the only time. After that, it was all heathen rulership, man. Okay? But it's about to get to a point now where we're going to get these heathens and we're going to put them in captivity. Okay? That's going to be that payback. That's going to be that judgment. All right? Especially the nation of Edom. The nation of Edom is going to get the worst judgment of all nations. And we got to stress that, man. Because they've done the worst. All right? These Edomites, they call themselves so-called white people, they've done the worst. So they're going to get the worst judgment, man. It's like the scripture says, which the other nations, they're going to get some form of mercy. But it says, there shall be no mercy unto him that had shown no mercy. And Esau has never shown mercy, man. It's never in Esau's spirit to show mercy. Okay? And the scriptures say that even the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Okay? Excuse me. This is Psalms 83 and verse 1. It says, "Keep not thou silence, O Most High, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Most High. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." All right? So that's speaking about us knowing that we're Israelites. The true Israelites being in that understanding that they're Israelites. They tried to cut us off from that. Because really, if you ask a lot of these people from other nations, they know that we're the Israelites. Right? They'll say, "Oh yeah, the so-called black people, the black people are the Israelites and the blah 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 blah. Okay, they know they know that we're the Israelites. See, but they didn't tell us that we were the Israelites. Okay, because it was a conspiracy between all these different heathen nations, right? Spearheaded by the Edomites to cut us off from that understanding. Because guess what? They knew that if we're disconnected from our power, that we'll always be on a low state. Okay? But once we're connected with our power, we'll be on top of all nations. Okay? It's as simple as that. Because it's clear to see that we're the superior race on the planet. All right? When you really look into it, if you take out the factor that Esau's propaganda and his lies and all that, and you really look at it for what it is, it's clear to see we are the superior race. All right? Our nation. Okay? Because when you go into even the inventions, the majority was from African Americans, man. Okay? The majority of inventions that came from women were all so-called black women, man. All right? And then the rest would be who? Would be the Latin tribes and Native Americans. Okay? And then you have Esau that says he might have did a little this and that. But really, what he does is he steals patents, man. That's what he does, man. He steals the patents from other people. Okay? That's what Esau's good at. Okay? So even if you go on a physical, a mental level, a spiritual level, all that. Okay? An endurance level, we're superior to all these other nations. And the Most High made it that way. Okay? But you Jakes don't want to say that. You Jakes want to, no, I just want to be on the same level. No. We're above these devils, man. These devils are ruling right now because the Most High gave them the power right now. All right? But their power is about to end. He didn't give them the power forever. He gave them the power for a period of time. And that period of time is almost up. All right? Deuteronomy 7 verse 6. It says, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. It didn't say equal with all people. We're above all people that are upon the face of the earth, man. Okay? And that's why they say it's hate speech, but it's not hate speech. It's truth speech, man. We're just telling you the truth, okay? If Jake says, listen, I don't know, LeBron, the LA Lakers or the Golden State Warriors are better than the Golden State Warriors can beat any high school team or whatever. How is that hate or is that the truth, man? That's the truth, okay? Esau, what he does is he pushes out lies and propaganda, man. All right? Yeah. Now that's hate, man. Okay? He'll say that Jake is just, it's just not as, just can't learn certain things. Like everything that Esau said we couldn't do back, whatever, man, 50, 100 years or whatever, we're doing that. So he's just a liar, okay? He's a liar, all right? When you go back and you look at them Nigerians, and when they come over to this side of the earth, they're smarter than any people on the planet, man. Okay? When they're the most educated when they come to the whatever, whether it's London or America or Canada, they're the most educated. And their curriculum, their school curriculum is on a higher level than these Edomites curriculums, man. Okay? Like a lot of these little Nigerian kids, they be knowing how to do math at 3 years old and shit. Okay? They know they know capitals of like, there was a video of this one little Nigerian girl that was like 3 years old or something like that. She was like a baby, man. Like she just learned how to talk type of shit. Okay? And she was naming capitals of all these different places and they were asking her questions, she was answering it. But she knows more than high school students, man. Okay? But why? That's because guess what? The Nigerians are Israelites, man. Okay? The Niger people. That's why you have the Igbo tribe, which the word Igbo means Hebrew. Okay? They know that they're Israelites. They have the same customs and all that. They circumcise on the 8th day, You see that they carry the Torah around and all that. So the proof is in the pudding, man. We're a superior people, man. Okay, but Esau try to make you, oh no, we're all equal in this nonsense. So you're trying to fight to be equal because Esau don't treat you like you're equal. All right, but really the fact is we're superior to Esau, man. And you gotta really understand that. All right, and that way you'll think different and you'll move different, and you'll be able to accomplish more. Okay. A lot of these Israelites are suffering from low self-esteem because of Esau's propaganda, Esau's media, Esau's this, Esau's that. Okay? But once we understand this truth, we unplug from all that. Okay? And we look at it for what it is. Oh, okay, they're Edomites. Okay, so that's leprosy. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? Let's get Jeremiah the 10th chapter real quick. This is Jeremiah 10 verse 16. It says, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things. And it's clear to see we're not like the rest of the nations. Okay? Any trend that you see around the world starts with our people. Every single one. Okay? I don't care what it is, bro. Any word, any slang, any dance, any this, any that comes from the Israelites, man. Okay? Because we are the former of all things. It says, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things. And Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name, man. That's it. And that includes inventions, man. Don't let Esau trick you and say, oh no, it's just physical. No. It's everything, man. Okay? We're better than these Edomites and these other nations in everything, man. Okay? But Esau, of course, in order to uplift his own self, he would have to push out that lie. Okay? And it says, let me read that one more time. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, which means everything comes out of Jacob. Everything comes out of us. Okay? And it says, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. That's it, man. Because guess what? The Most High put his name on us. So, of course, if the Most High chose a people, they're going to be stronger. They're going to be faster. They're going to be smarter. Okay? He's not going to pick someone who's inferior in all those things, like the so-called Jews, like the Jewish people. Do those look like the people of God to you, man? They got to be the most flavorless, talentless people on the planet Earth. And that's just being honest. All right? Just take a look. Okay? And we don't promote violence against no people, man. Those people who did that thing in the New Jersey, that was some bullshit. First of all, that was a false flag. That never really happened. That was Esau putting that propaganda out there. But we never condone anything like that, because according to the scriptures, it says what? It says, "Wait ye upon me." The Most High said, "Wait upon Him." Okay. Because Yahushua is going to be the one to take down this kingdom, not us. We're not going to go against Esau physically, man. All right? The blessing that these devils have is the sword, which is the weaponry. We're not going to go fight against them with their own blessing. No, our blessing is spiritual. Our blessing is with the Most High. The fact that we're the children of the Most High, that's our blessing. Okay? The fact that we have the birthright. You see? Romans 13 in verse 1. It says, let every soul be subject unto the higher power, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be ordained of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Because guess what? The Most High put them in power. Right? Just like the Romans back then, the Most High put them in power. And these are the same people, really, they're Edomites, they're all Edomites, that are ruling today. Okay? You see? So they're the Most High put them in power. So for you to fight against, will be going against the Most High. It says, whosoever therefore resisteth the power, and when you look at that word resist, it means to fight against, to take up arms against you, right? Like a militia, all right? Resisteth the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive of themselves damnation, to themselves damnation. So that's it. So those people who went and did that thing in New Jersey, that's not what we teach. We don't teach you to go and do nothing like that. All right? So you can't link that to us, but they're going to do it anyway. So they can try to do it, but we never taught that. We always taught, listen, we got to wait for Yahweh Shai to come back. Okay? For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he that ministered of the Most High to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of the Most High, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. And that's why they're dead right now, because guess what? They tried to go resist the power, and the Most High sent the Edomites with his sword to kill them. Okay? You're gonna send the SWAT, the army, whoever the hell they send, the police, all right? Who they don't bear the sword in vain, which means they'll use that. They'll kill you with that. All right? Right? That's not our job. Is not to go fight against Esau. We're not in that business. We're in the spiritual business. We're in the business of waking up the elect and just sitting back and watching Esau's kingdom crumble. Okay? That's all we're doing. We're sitting back and watching Esau's kingdom crumble. Okay? And watching the prophecies play out. We're not into that carnality. All right? Let's get so Zephaniah 2 and 9. This is Zephaniah 3 and 8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them mine indignation. All my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy, man. All right, so guess what? Yahweh Shai is going to be the one to come up against them physically, man. So they could try and arrest Yahweh Shai. They can't, you know what I'm saying? They could try to arrest Yahweh Shai. You know, they can't, you know, they could try that. Try to come up against Yahweh Shai with the sword, which they are going to try it, but they're going to fail. Okay? It says, for then will I turn to the people of pure language, that they may call upon the name of Yahweh to serve him with one consent, man. All right? And after Esau's taken down by Yahweh Shai, then right there, that's when the kingdom is going to be established. That's when everything is going to go back to, is going to be regenerated, man. All right? Or renewed. Okay? It's not enough for us to go up and take. What's the point of that? Excuse me. Gonna go take up arms against Esau. What's the point of that? What you gonna do? Okay, you're gonna do that, then you're gonna wait for Yahweh Shai to come while you're taking him down? You know? Or if you end up taking him down, where you need Yahweh Shai for? Right? We don't have the power to take him down. Okay, we gotta wait for Yahweh Shai to come back so that he can take him down. All right, because he's gonna have the power to do so. All right, this is let's get Ezekiel or Isaiah 63 actually. This is Isaiah 63. In verse 1, it says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel? See, it said that he was coming from Edom, right? Which is just means that he's coming to destroy Edomites. He's coming to do a lot of killing to these Edomites. All right? Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. All right? So that represents, that's symbolic of blood on his garment because of the amount of killing that he's going to be doing. All right? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury. Okay? And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. Hey, so Yahushua, he can't wait to get busy on you Edomites specifically. All right? So you want to say it's a thing where the Bible is not about race. It is about race. Okay? It's about the nation of Israel, which is us. It's mainly against you Edomites, which are you so-called white people. All right? Those are the two main characters in the story. Right? So there's a good guy and there's a bad guy. It just happens that you Edomites are the bad guys and we're the good guys. All right? This is Romans 9. We'll start at verse 11. It says, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, this is speaking about Jacob and Esau, that the purpose of the Most High, according to election, might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. Okay, so the elders is the Edomites, and we're the younger. Okay, because Esau came out first. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? God forbid. All right, so there's no unrighteousness with the Heavenly Father. He chose who he wanted to be on top. Okay, and he chose Jacob to be on top of Esau. And let me ask this question to Vocab. Did the Esau himself serve, not just Vocab, you Edomites in general, did Esau himself serve Jacob during the time of Isaac? That never happened, right? So that would have to mean it's speaking about the people. It's not just speaking about Esau as an individual. It's speaking about his whole nation, okay? His whole race, so to speak, all right? So when the Most High says, I love Jacob, it's speaking about the nation of Israel, the whole race of Israel, right? All from the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, the whole nation as a collective. The Most High is saying he loves, okay? But then when he says, but Esau have I hated, he's saying the Edomites as a whole nation, okay? Which the Edomites are you so-called Caucasians or white people, if you don't understand, all right? So yes, it's about race, okay? The Most High made it about race. It's not about how you look, but it's about race. See? Although looks are an indicator of to what nation a person comes from. That's why when the Roman centurion he saw Paul, he mistook Paul for an Egyptian. Because what, the Egyptians were so-called dark-skinned people. Was he an Egyptian? No, he wasn't. He was an Israelite. But guess what? Based upon the looks, he assumed that he might have been an Egyptian. Okay? And that also proves to you that the Israelites were people of color, dark-skinned people. All right? So-called black people. All right? Which, speaking about the three tribes, the Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay? Because Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, those are the what you would call the dark-skinned tribes today. Okay, but then you have the Latin tribes, which it speaks about Ephraim being a cake not turned, which means that you have some Ephraimites that are dark and some Ephraimites that are light. Okay, so like I said, it's not necessarily about the appearance, although that isn't indicated. You see? We can assume that someone's an Edomite, but guess what? Hey, if the Spirit shows that he's not an Edomite, we can't go based upon how he looks. We got to go based upon what the Spirit says. This is Romans 8:16. It says, the Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So we got to go through the Spirit, man. All right? So if a person might look like another nation, but if you speak with him and he has that flavor like an Israelite, and especially if he believes in the Scriptures and what we're the truth of the Scriptures, and guess what? There's a good chance that he's an Israelite. And we have to also take that into consideration. All right? Being spiritual. All right? Because Esau's a carnal person. Esau is carnal. Esau's so carnal and so stupid that even in slavery, in the transatlantic slave trade, they would rape the so-called black woman, and they would have children, and they would put their own children in slavery. Right? So that's how stupid these Edomites are. The Edomites are retarded. Not knowing that that's of the same nation. That those people are of the same nation as you. Okay? Because whoever your father is, that's what nation you come from. If your father's a Arawak Indian, then you're a Native American. You're a Gaddite. Okay? That's your true biblical nationality. Okay? So Esau was so carnal, he was basing everything. You need a brown paper bag test. So if you're lighter in the brown paper bag, you can get in. If you're darker, you can't get into the club or whatever nonsense he was doing. Okay, which was really, at the end of the day, it was rooted in jealousy, man. Okay, but it's carnal. We're not dealing like that. We're dealing with it based upon the Spirit. Okay. Because regardless, you're gonna have Israelites that are gonna come from all over the earth. All right, that's gonna come looking like different nations. You see. And we can give you all kind of examples. We can give you examples all day of who an Israelite that doesn't look like a typical Israelite is. All right? Like, for example, Bruce Lee. That's an Israelite. He looks like a Moabite, but he's an Israelite. Okay? We know that based upon his spirit. All right? And there's many other examples. You know, but the point of the matter is it's not based upon carnality. Because guess what? Israel was scattered amongst all these nations. This is Isaiah 12 and verse 12. It says, Isaiah 11 and 11. It says, it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Hamath, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcast of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth, man. All right. So out of all those different nations, which are not Israelite nations, all right, which are not Israelite people, there's going to be Israelites that are going to be taken from them after centuries, man. All right. They've been in there for centuries. So of course they've been mixing and mingling, so to speak. The men have been sleeping with the women from those nations. So the child is going to come out looking more like that nation, speaking that dialect. But really, when you go back to it, they're Israelites, all right? So that's the bottom line, man, all right? It's not a thing of being carnal. And a lot of these Israelite groups, a lot of them are carnal. A lot of them will look at somebody and say, listen, okay, you know, based upon how you look, you're this and that. That's cool to begin with, but then when you see, you know, they're trying to engage and see what's going on, they don't even try the spirit. They don't care what the dude said. I even seen cases where the person said that their father was a so-called black man. They didn't even consider it because they look like an Edomite. that's somebody who's carnal. That's somebody who's not a spiritual person, man. And the scripture says a carnal mind is enmity with the Most High. All right? And Esau is the most carnal person there is. All right? That's why the Most High hates him so much. But a lot of you Israelites are carnal as well. This is let's get Numbers 1 and 12. 1 and 18, Salaki. This is Numbers 1 and 18. It says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And he declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls, man. All right, so that was based upon what their father. So it didn't matter who their mother was or what nation their mother came from, because the father is the one that carries the seed, and that's where the nation always comes from. Okay, even if you watch those old movies, they're gonna say, "I'm the son of such and such, the son of such and such, the son of such and such." Okay, they're not gonna mention who their grandmother was. Okay, see. So you Israelites that are not taking that into consideration and saying, listen, if our nation has been in, if our people have been all around, scattered all around the world for centuries, that they're going to come out looking like all other nations, then you're just being carnal, man. And a lot of those people, when you really look at those type of guys that think that way, the Spirit always reveals that they're not right, okay? Because guess what? They're not in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They're in the spirit of their emotion. They're dealing with what their emotions say. Okay? Instead of what the Most High says. Because the Most High said, listen, when Samuel went to go find the king of Israel, Samuel was looking on the outward appearance, and the Most High said, nah, don't look at the outward appearance, because I look at the spirit. So if you have a person that's really a man of the Lord, right? But you're looking at it like, oh no, he looks like this nation or that nation, and then you go and offend that person, you have hell to pay, because what does the scripture say? It says it's better than a millstone tied around his neck if you offend one of these little ones. So you don't want to do that. That's not a good position to be in. All right, that's definitely not a good position to be in. You know. This is 1 Corinthians 2 and verse 15. That's the spirit. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. All right? Salakia, let me start up. I'll start at verse start at verse 13. It says, which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Spirit teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual, man. So you're not supposed to look at, oh no, he looks like his DNA is this and that, you know, because you're supposed to be looking at it through the Spirit, okay? Because that would be considered the wisdom which man teacheth, all right? But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. So that's it, man. The brothers out here, especially in GMS, all right, because we're the top camp on the planet Earth, man, all right? Especially on GMS, amongst GMS, we're spiritual, man. Well, that's why we have brothers in the camp that don't look like so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. We have brothers that look like all nations, because guess what? They believed in the truth. They believed in the scriptures, all right? And they proved themselves to be Israelites, all right? Because it's not a thing of carnality. It's not a thing of, oh, Napash doesn't want Hayanapash doesn't want Edomite-looking person beside him teaching because it looks kind of stupid, and I'm cursing Edomites out. It's got nothing to do with me. This is not my program, man. I'm following the program of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And if it's so be it that the Most High sends an Edomite, an Israelite that has blonde hair and blue eyes to come push the word out, then so be it, man. I can't say anything against them. Because guess what? The Most High is the one that put him in that body. Okay? You know? Numbers 12. This is Numbers 12 and 6. It says, and he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, Yahweh, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark saying, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore, then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? All right, because it's a great offense to speak against the anointed of the Most High. That's why when Saul was trying to kill David, David was just fleeing, man. He wasn't engaging. Okay, because at the end of the day, he knew that was an anointed of the Most High for that time period. That's why he didn't even bother to engage with him. Okay, and he could have killed him many a times, but he didn't bother to do it. Okay, and that's integrity, right? You know, when a guy's trying to kill you and you're running away from getting killed, right? He's trying to kill you without a cause, right? And you have to flee. You know, knowing that you're a better warrior than him, a stronger warrior than him, and what David did was, while they were camping, I believe it was like around one of the places where David was. While they were sleeping or something, David cut a piece of his garment and showed it to him, like from afar, and said, "Listen, I could have killed you a long time ago, but he didn't because he has integrity, man." Okay, you see. And that's why King David was in the position that he was in. He was chosen through the Spirit, because really first of all, he was the humblest man on the earth. All right, and then secondly, he had great integrity. All right. Well, let me get that real quick. Let's get